We have failed. So epic a fail that it cost $800 billion over 9 years. The state of Iraqi civilization was dire in 2001. That cannot be doubted. But the current state, after the withdrawal of occupying forces, is nothing short of apocalyptic, and the government left in place is just a different head on the same snake we went there to kill in the first place. The same sectarian violence that defined the Ba'athist regime of Hussein is still very much a reality, just sort of turned on its head. The shock and awe of our invasion campaign, televised worldwide, was so destructive as to light up the night that May in Mesopotamia. And throughout the following 9 years, the American citizen's opinion on average was fed by lies upon lies until the reality of what we thought had become such a farcical satire as to make National Lampoons jealous. We did not build infrastructure there, we destroyed it. Iraqis have no clean water, no electricity, and this lack of amenities, alongside the utter absence of security, is completely demoralizing to the disenfranchised and destitute population. We did not install a democratic government either. We traded the iron-fisted Sunni minority rule for an iron-fisted Shia majority rule, essentially turning the political coin over and placing it down on the same table, but not before setting fire to the table. Yes, we have failed, and I am certainly not the only one to have noticed. Obama was trying to convince the Iraqi administration to allow U.S. troops to outstay the deadline for withdrawal, but the Iraqis said no. They noticed how destructive our help really is, and saw the international deadline as the last way out of the madness that the U.S. occupation really brought. And not hours after the last of our troops left, explosions rocked the Capitol, and the Prime Minister blamed it on the VP, ran him out of Parliament, and issued a warrant for his arrest. Disenfranchised Iraqi nationals publicly criticized the Iraqi regime as designed to fail, to promote discord and unrest in the region. Iraqi government officials come out telling the world that it's none of their business and they can handle it themselves, when it's clear that they cannot. It was bad 10 years ago in Iraq, but if our goal was to make things better for the Iraqi people, we have fallen on our faces. We knew it was happening too. Bradley Manning, who blew the whistle on gross violations of human rights by American troops, stands to be possibly executed. He has been imprisoned without due process for 17 months, primarily in solitude. And how could we not think that there was something criminal about the war when his justification changed at least twice in as many years? The president even ignored the Congress, and the Constitution, and the international community in going to war in the first place. Bush got this bus up to speed, and then turned the wheel over to a blindfolded Obama, who's driving it right off a cliff. Epic fail. The measure of greatness in military power is not numbers or righteousness, but in the destruction left in its wake. That is the only way our military can be deemed the greatest in the world. No other military power in all of recorded history is responsible for more decimation and death and destruction than the modern U.S. military. That is why we are the best. Results. Plain and simple. And the global attitude towards military power that liberally applies force for its own needs always becomes the antithesis for that power's application. We can only blow up so many people before the rest of them get tired of it. We have failed. Failed ourselves and the Iraqis. And we've even failed the Afghani people too. The idea that bombs will free a population is a purely American imperialist ideology, one that's broken our backs and our banks, not to mention the spirit of freedom that used to live in America. We have failed.